we have made it back to the shop today. We had a couple buddies over last night helping us put this transmission in, so it was kind of hard to run a camera and get everything in there. And you know, with 3 guys underneath the car and not very small guys underneath the car either, there wasn't much room for this camera, and all you'd be seeing is our guts or side boobs or something. So, but we got this thing up in here. Transmission is back in the car. We hung the drive shaft. The rear diff is in the car, which I go through that. It's not nothing crazy really. This car is the easiest car I've ever probably pulled a transmission out of and the rear diff out of. We had the rear diff out in like 40 minutes by ourselves, and that was with pulling the seized axles that were stuck in there because they're factory. But I pulled that out in like 45 minutes. We had the gear change done somewhere else because I didn't feel comfortable doing it on such an expensive car. And we got that done. We stuck it back in there last night. It literally took 2 guys, 10 minutes. And all we got to do is put the axle shafts in there right now. I kept the axle shafts out so we can put the drive shaft in there. It looks like it's a pain, but 3 bolts, this comes down. There's 2 13mm bolts up in there for the carrier, and you bolt it straight to the rear diff. We got the transmission, transcooler, everything's wired. This little cross member, I mean, I hate to say it, but it seems like GM kind of knew what they were doing when they built these cars. They made it real easy to work on. I mean, even the engine bay there's so much room in here for activities, really. I mean, some of you old timers don't think so, but I would say this is actually the easiest car to probably mess with. But we got to get some electric cutouts put in. This is the girlfriend's car, like I mentioned, and she just wants it a little bit louder. So we're going to put some cutouts in it for her. It's got GM Performance exhaust on it with GM Performance mufflers, and it's kind of a mellow sound, but it sounds really good. So I don't want to change that sound. I just want her to be able to have the opportunity to show off a little bit more and get it a little bit more loud and stuff. But we got a level 2 stage, I guess it'd be a stage 2, level 2, however you want to say it, Tick Performance built TR6060. She busted the output shaft in it. I decided I wanted to do this YouTube thing about right in the middle of this build, so you guys are going to kind of catch the end of this almost. But this is what happened. I mean, it just broke clean off. I don't know what happened here, but like none of these are even tore up. Like none of that is tore up. This looks so clean, like cleanly broke. It is unreal. This goes into the transmission like so. And instead of having a slip yoke like the older style transmissions. But like none of the freaking splines are even tore up in there. I know it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but nothing's tore up. It's like, what even happened? So we're gonna hopefully get the cutouts welded up. It's only me today. made it to the gas station. Took it up to dinner tonight. Put about 15 miles on it so far. So it's good so far. We just need to bleed the clutch and fix a couple exhaust leaks. We didn't weld one piece and we put a clamp on it, and I think that's leaking. So we're gonna get that taken care of, but we had to get all the dust off it. It was just terrible to drive, almost honestly. So, but we made it. So far, so good. Got to do a little bit more, like I said, adjusting, but we'll get there. Finished product. Like I said, didn't get as much footage as I wanted on this thing, but we got the transmission in, the clutch is in. We got about 30 miles on it so far. We put the cutouts on, but the switch and the wiring, we didn't get both wiring kits for both of them. So we are gonna have to call Granatelli tomorrow and hopefully get a new wiring set delivered to us. Then I'll have to wire that in. Only thing that sucks is this car is low. There's probably only about 2 to 3 inches of gap from the bottom, so when you hit a bump and you're on a road that's very heavily crowned, it will kind of bottom out and it hits the tip of the exhaust, but ever so slightly. So I think I might try to turn those up a little bit more, which I think I haven't turned all the way up. If not, we'll just have to cut those little turn downs shorter, and that'll entail give us about another inch or so, because they're probably 5 inches long. If we cut them down to only being an inch or so long, they'll have quite a bit more room. So I think I'm going to take them off for tonight, send her home with this, have her drive it. If she doesn't hit anything with it, then maybe we'll put them on and we'll cut it down and we'll go from there, and we'll just slowly keep on getting longer, and maybe I'll make my own so they come up a little bit higher, but that'll be for future reference. But here we go, we're done with the 5th gen Camaro, 391 gears. It's got a F35 cam, TR6060 car. It's got a 700 horsepower or torque rated clutch, dual disc monster clutch in it. So this thing should be ready to rip. Hopefully before too long we'll get you guys some videos on it and stuff like that. I think we're gonna try and go to LS Fest with this thing as well. So yeah, we'll maybe get some footage on it, maybe get a draggy, put in the car some videos of her driving, and go from there. So appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks again, and hell yeah, brother.